Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and the fit today is the University of Oxford. Let's take a look at a video.
So here's something a lot of Christians don't know about the words that Jesus said on the cross before he died.
All right, let's see it.
All right, when Jesus was on the cross, he cried out in English, "It is finished." But that was just a translation of a Greek word, tetelestai, which was a word that was used in a business context on ancient receipts in the New Testament Bible times to indicate that a literal debt had been paid in full.
Okay, this is not a business context.
But check this out. It was also used in a judicial context in court when a particular sentence was fully served. Not like somewhat served or kind of served, like completely, fully, once and for all served.
Okay, this is also not a judicial context.
And then the word tetelestai was also used in a military context, meaning that a battle had been won. It was a word of like triumph and victory.
And it is not a military context.
When Jesus hangs on the cross and he cries out, tetelestai, it is finished, he was declaring, your debt of sin is fully paid, the judgment for your sin has been fully served, and the spiritual war against death, sin, and Satan has been completely won. In Christ, the work of salvation, victory, reconciliation, and new life is fully yours. Ladies and gentlemen, it is finished.
So I don't get the sense that this creator understands what it means for something to mean something in a context. What it means is that when you are in that context, the context allows you to specify which sense must be intended. So if I say, that's one strike, and I'm in a bowling alley, the context allows us to whittle down the potential senses of the word strike to the one that is relevant to a bowling alley. If I'm standing on a baseball field, the context allows us to whittle down the potential senses to the one that is most likely intended, that is relevant to the context. If I'm in a courtroom, the context allows people to whittle down the intended senses. So Jesus hanging on a cross is not a business context. It's not a military context. It's not a judicial context. This only occurs in the Gospel of John, and very clearly the idea is the mission is finished. What I was sent to earth to do is finished. What is explained in the scriptures is finished. But this highlights a very common fallacy that a lot of folks who are not well trained in language commit when they get a hold of a concordance or a lexicon, is they imagine one or both of two things. One, that they get to just arbitrarily pick and choose which of the listed senses are intended by a given use, or they imagine that all of the senses can be intended all at the same time, as if I'm standing on a baseball field as an umpire and I say that's one strike, I mean, oh, by the way, that is also a bowling strike, and that's also a strike on your criminal record, and it's also all these other ways that strike can mean. And that's just nonsensical. So no, these things are not all intended in the authors of John's use of tetelestai.